Hi, guys. Welcome back to the Comeback Era. We have a pretty heavy podcast today, but I think it needs to happen. But first, let me start by introducing to you guys. You guys have never met this person before. We have the one and only Kayla Reed. Welcome back, Kayla Reed.
Hi. Thank you for having me.
You've lost a last name since we saw you last.
I have indeed.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
I don't think people congratulate people on divorces and breakups enough, but I think it needs to be said. Congrats.
Yeah.
I know this is sad and it's been a really exhausting chapter of life, but you made it through.
But I'm in such a good place.
You made it through the other side. It was hard.
It was hard. I don't want to diminish that season of my life. It was so hard. I always say that I would Google, like, can divorce kill you? Because it felt like that. When I talk to friends that are going through it, I'm like, I don't have anything to say. It is the hardest thing I've ever gone through. And I've gone through some hard freaking shit. But
I've got through some bad breakups.
Yeah.
We know I've had, lost like loves of my life. And I've been through abusive relationships, all the things. Dude, because I mean, obviously we've been building this podcast together, but having a front row seat to this marriage chapter of your life, I wouldn't wish that on anyone. And doing it with children around,
right.
Props to you for making it through to the other side, because it wasn't easy.
There's a purpose in the pain, that's for sure.
What do you feel like the purpose to your pain is here?
I don't really know yet. I don't think it's come all full circle. I feel like I've learned so much about myself and, oh my gosh, what I want in life and psychology and, people and boundaries. And I've just learned so much that I'm like, I wouldn't have gained all this newfound wisdom to life if I hadn't had gone through all the shit.
I really believe like we have soul contracts that like we sign up for and things that,
I signed up for that, but
I did. But I think you did though, because I think God, like you and God had this deal to go through this, because like, I think the person you've become on the other side of this is, like you said, is more wise.
Oh yeah.
Has like, you're the strength that you never knew. Like, you know what I mean? Not that you weren't strong before, but
I think I lost a lot of myself in my marriage, and now I've kind of like coming back home to who I am.
Yeah, and I think,
and that's a really beautiful feeling.
Being married to someone like that, I think he was really like, from everything I've known from being your friend, he was incredibly selfish, and it's really hard to be in a marriage and be such a supporting wife and serving somebody who is such a taker.
Yeah, it's draining. It's just really draining.
Yeah, and I'm just excited for you to kind of get to know yourself in this whole new chapter of life.
Same. Very.
So I brought my laptop. We've got,
just in case,
we've got receipts, everyone.
I obviously didn't make it to trial, so this was my trial. I have 57 pages of just evidence.
Well, we won't get into all full 57 of them, but we have heard from Kayla's attorney, and he has said, and I quote, "The muzzle is off." So I think it's time to set the record straight, because there's been a lot that's gone on. And as her friend, I was like ready to let the dogs loose. You know what I mean? I was like, I was ready to.
And I greatly appreciate
to go fight for you. But then there's also a piece where I was like, hold on, we have to be quiet. Because, we weren't sure if she was going to go to trial or what was going to happen. And, it's, you want to win the war, not the battle.
Yeah.
And I really feel like you had so much strength biting your tongue for a lot of things, because
that I've never.
Tweedledee and Tweedledum really love to run their mouth.
But that's something I learned for those listening that are going through a divorce. Your reaction is everything. And that is what said people are looking for. They're always looking for a reaction. Do not give them a reaction, because
easier said than done.
Win. Easier said than done.
Right. How do you think for everybody listening, because I know a lot of us going through that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
How do you bite your tongue in a time where you are like hot-headed, feeling reactive, feeling overwhelmed, feeling like just Lion Ryan is running his mouth the way that America knows how we know who he is. He's been here before. He's been in the tabloid before.
Yes.
I didn't come up with Lion Ryan. The press came up with that because the shoe fits. So how do you deal with something like that how do you keep your composure?
It is like a muscle. You have to work at it for sure. In the beginning, I was just like, motherfucker, like I had something to say, because of course, when, the truth is so important to me and it always has been, I think it's like a blessing and a curse that I have this like complex about the truth. Like the truth has to be known. And
I do. You are like Kayla is like one of the most like honest people.
Thank you.
She can't lie. Like she's allergic.
It literally
to lying.
feels like I'm getting a visceral reaction when the truth is not.
It's so funny because like as her friend and as someone who's in business with her and as somebody who yesterday was wrong, she thought that I had the company credit card, but she had it. And she like pretended to lie for half of a second and she couldn't even like
joke.
She couldn't even commit to the joke. Like she couldn't commit to the bit. She's like, I had it. And like, because she just can't lie. And I think it's so ironic that you married like one of the biggest liars of all time.
Yes. So, but I also didn't know these lies. I didn't know a lot about it. I was kind of, I don't know. A lot of the lies I didn't know. I just felt like my intuition kept saying, is that a lie? Is this true?
And also like you were so young when you guys like got together. You know what I mean? Like I think
young and in love and having, the time of our lives and, shit hit the fan. And I was like, oh my gosh, I think that's a lot of things. Women remain in a relationship because we're taught like we're ride or dies. We're there. We hold it down.
And like a little probably like trauma bonded together. And you
for sure.
Like I feel like it's one of those things like I know
we had gone through Rio together. So if he wants to diminish, obviously I wasn't the one that was held up in the bathroom. I wasn't the one that did all this. But was I there?
You were there. You were in Rio
holding the freaking fort down. And
yeah. So, I mean, it's just, I think the ride or die thing is
so
irritating.
Forget it. No, we're not like, I just don't believe in that anymore.
Yeah. Just because I feel like men
like love is not it. Love is not everything. We cannot just be like, oh, I love this person. Love is it. Love is enough. No, if there is not respect, if there is not honesty, if there's not boundaries, if there is not communication, if there are
love is not all you need.
Love is not enough. It will not get you.
I love that you're bringing this up because I have had this happen to me so many times where I'm like, love is all you need.
No.
I'm such a romantic. But I think knowing now what I know and having my frontal lobe fully developed or somewhat mostly developed, I'd like to think. I think the element of like, love is all you need. It's real love is respectful.
Yes, it is safe.
Real love is safe.
It is thoughtful. It is sacrificial.
And I think like we kind of confuse excitement and chemistry with that. And the thing is like you can love somebody, but if it's not all the other things, it's not really love because somebody who loves you wouldn't do that to you.
Right.
They didn't do it to you. So please hear me when I say real love wouldn't hurt you like that.
Yeah, absolutely not. Absolutely not. And that's what's exciting is that I get to look forward to that. Like I have 3 wonderful children and eventually I think maybe down the line will become like, I'm good with him. Like I have nothing.
You're good with him? I am not. I am not.
Right. Cause I just like, I don't hold a grudge. Like from like when Lauren in the hills said, I forgive and forget. Like I get to a point where I pretend like you are non-existent anymore.
Well, I think one of the best parts is that, he's moved on and kind of started a whole new life.
Yeah.
And it like halfway across the country. Yeah. And I think that is helpful for you getting to start over because I'm sorry. As someone who was in Gainesville with you for quite some time, getting to like witness them around town, like showboating being the most obnoxious thing I just think it was the way that in which they handled themselves was so disrespectful to you as his wife.
I would never do it
because you were still his wife.
Yeah.
And to the kids, I just think it was really, really disrespectful the way that they just were very showboaty with their relationship and
agree.
Like so PDA.
That just speaks volume to their character.
And also I do think it speaks volumes to one, her insecurity.
Yeah.
And I would like anybody who like looks at this is like, why are you so insecure? Like, why are you acting like this? And I also think
some people believe any attention is good attention.
Right. And I also feel like the way that he was acting, and I think he was like upset because I think we talked about this before. And I think he was upset by it. Like me, I think I said something like, he still loves you, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And Ryan, because I know you're watching. Hi. I do think that hate is also like a form of like love. Like I think if he didn't like love you and I think if he wasn't hurt by you, he wouldn't be so like,
I have to prove.
I have to prove. And he was so venomous towards you.
Yeah.
And like every message that he like would send was full of so much hate. Like, bro, if you really didn't care, you would be indifferent.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's just have a moment for you to like let that sink in. And I know that might be a big word for you, but you would be indifferent. You would. Like, if you really...
Like, that's how I feel. Like, I do feel like that.
And as your friend, I don't feel indifferent because I feel furious to have watched this go down the way that it's gone down.
Right.
And to watch them spew lie after lie.
Right.
And like,
that's the only thing that's pissed me off is like, just be honest. Like, go live your happy life. Go, I move to the moon for all I care.
Yeah.
But just be honest.
Please go to the moon.
I would, I don't know if Elon is doing any test missions, but
boy, do we got a guy for you.
Let us know.
Yeah. I think you've been through a lot, and I think the lies, like, you're not here to ruin his life and to like she was really, you've had a hard time with all of this. Yeah. But I think this is your like last and final chapter.
You have to hold so much in. It's like it's all kind of bursting at the seams, but at the same time, I'm like, I just don't want to talk about it. But I know that there is a time and a place. And I recently did a People Magazine
I was just going to bring that up,
interview, and I did give them the exclusive. So that's why this has been put on hold to release.
You were really traumatized. As somebody sitting on the sidelines for that interview, like I was watching a victim trying to
couldn't formulate the words, you guys. Like I was frozen in time, and I was like,
you could have asked Kayla her birthday and she'd be like, I don't know.
I would have been like,
no,
I couldn't.
This is what do we say? It's like a dorsal vagal something. It's part of the polyvagal theory. It's like a psychology thing where
it's a freaking trauma reaction.
It is a trauma response. Is the way that you like. I'm sorry, you absolutely shut down during that interview.
I know. I've never witnessed anything. I felt like I had amnesia. I couldn't even go back into my mind
to say an answer. It was just like, it was
so embarrassing.
I was like, well, this isn't,
but it is what it is.
Best we thought.
I know. It is what it is. But
so getting into everything.
Now I literally have no bra on, no shoes on. I'm just like, okay.
I was like, it's just us.
It's just me and Caroline. I can do this. Like I don't want to relive the past. Like I want this to be the past. I don't like to relive the past, but at the same time, for my listeners from, on our page and things like that, like
people have, at the end of the day,
like, and again, the honest truth is important. Like just be honest.
At the end of the day, you and Ryan are public figures, and you know what? He's gotten to run his mouth on Hannity and TMZ and all these silly little fake news things that he's been putting out there.
Yeah.
Like, bro, we have receipts.
Yeah.
We've got the receipts. Like, I don't think he's smart enough to realize that you have the receipts.
Yeah.
Like, you have them.
Yeah.
And so
I have multiple albums organized on my phone. I have right here just an addendum of 57 pages of evidence. I have another document of every 500 different text messages.
Yeah.
So I've been verbally abused.
It's kind of hard to know where to start here.
Yeah.
I've got notes. We've got receipts. We've got things.
We asked you guys what you want me to answer. And a lot, obviously, you guys want the girlfriend drama. And kind of that timeline is what I've gathered.
Okay, so should I start with the cease and desist?
Sure.
Why not? Let's start there, shall we?
Caroline.
Let me just go through my Rolodex.
Also, to note that we filmed the divorce part 1 back in November.
Yes.
So right around Thanksgiving. So that's why there has been a lot of stuff that's happened.
A lot of life has happened since then. And we're now in July. So just for you to get
just the timeline of that.
Things.
Yeah.
But let's talk about why your divorce took so long to get handled.
Right.
Like, because
I know they do take time. But it was me fighting I was supporting the kids financially solely on my own. And I had them almost 90% of the time because he was going to rehab. He went to rehab for the first time, and he then told me, and this is again how like he is I don't know the term, but because I was going to say mastermind, but it's not that. It's not a mastermind. But that is not the term. It's the way that he can like lie is it, I think that's where him and I just really struggled, because I wouldn't say something the way that he would say something. Anyway, so
but there is this element with like narcissists where like, I don't know how they all like read the same textbook in high school or something. Because when you've encountered a few different narcissists in your life, you're like, how do they all know to do this? And it's
a personality disorder.
Textbook narcissism. And so he's not really a mastermind, but there is just narcissism.
It's right. And I'm like learning about that. I'm not here to diagnose anybody, but
sorry, nor am I. But I have experienced narcissists in my life. And sometimes, like, you know, I'm saying like there's a lot of...
It's pattern recognition. You learn the patterns. But
I recognize them.
For example, going to rehab the first time, it was, I don't have a problem. Oh, going back, why we got divorced, it was I gave him the ultimatum with our family therapist and told him he had to go to rehab. This is after I found the drugs in the home multiple times, confronted him, kicked him out. He came back, apologized, you know, was crying, then I found it again, kicked him out. During this timeline, this is something I need to be noted. During this timeline of me finding the drugs and me kicking him out, he already started messaging Molly, is what I believe.
I mean, he had messaged her years prior to this, but
correct.
They conveniently left that out when she posted receipts trying to claim innocence.
Yes. And
we'll get to that.
It's all over the place, I know. Because we have to get into that, I guess.
We'll get that with the cease and desist, and we'll hit that in a second.
But the reason why it took so long is because I, was kicking him out here and there. That's why I ended up filing. But he was saying, oh, I went to rehab and they said, I don't need to be here. So they let him go. And he told he told his attorney and my attorney and me, that the rehab facility sent him home because he didn't have a problem and he didn't need to be there. So I had to go back to my attorney and say, okay, what is going on? He cannot pass a drug test. He needs to be in a rehab. And I was trying to get him in an inpatient because he's done outpatient prior.
Right.
And I knew that the only way this is going to be hit head on is if you take it seriously.
Right.
And
so he's since...
So we had to go back.
I will give him credit where it's due. So he has recently passed a drug test.
Yeah. He had to pass the drug test to get the kids unsupervised visits.
Right. So he did pass that.
Eventually, yes.
But he also was drinking. And he's not shy about it. This isn't like,
that's why I've said
he's posting
all have different
social media
definitions of sobriety, I guess.
Say again?
That's why I said we all have different definitions of sobriety.
Yeah.
We all think sober means no drugs, no alcohol, no substances of any kind. I don't really know what.
And granted, I don't know him and I'm not with him when he drinks, but I would hope that he's making good choices. I think it's as somebody who's had a lot of people in my family with addiction issues.
Yeah.
It's a very slippery slope. And I don't think I don't do Coke and nitrous oxide anymore.
Yeah.
But I'm drinking and Molly posted something on her story and the fridge was full of alcohol.
Yeah.
And as somebody who's an addict, that just feels kind of like a red flag. But
I've said that from the beginning, I think there's some enabling happening because I was also an enabler, not knowing.
But that's probably also part of the appeal of it, right? It's like you held him accountable for his vices.
Yeah.
And she allows it.
When I realized what was happening and was like, I'm not going to... Growing up in a home with addiction, this is not something I want for my kids, and I will end it there.
Right.
That's why I gave him the ultimatum. You either go to rehab, then we will go to an all-intensive boot camp up in Georgia that our therapist recommended. And I wasn't going to go to that boot camp unless he was 100% sober, because I felt like it would be a waste of time and money. We would be taking time away from the kids, etc., work, obligations, whatever. And that is why. And it was a refusal on his end. So I said, okay, I'm keeping a promise to myself. And I told him before in the meeting, I am filing for divorce. If you are going to decide not to go to rehab for 30 days, I would think that your family and your children are worth anything more.
So how did that feel, like giving him this ultimatum? Because I mean, obviously, like, you know, you are somebody who values marriage, somebody who
100%.
loves Ryan. How did that feel, having him choose divorce over rehab, like choosing his vices over his family?
I just think it solidified the respect that wasn't there. And I was like, okay, cool. And that is when I shut it down. But then that is when everything else continued, because it was like, all right, now you're going to suffer because you are, you know,
why do you think that
dismantling my life?
Like, couldn't just stay single? Why do you think he like literally like ran right into the arms of someone else?
I think that there are certain people that cannot be alone.
Mm-hmm.
And I also think,
I mean, he showed that during your marriage, that he's incapable of being alone even.
Right. And again, okay, going back and like looking into addictive personalities, they're addicted to so many different things, right? And it's like you have to get your vice from multiple fixes. And so it's like there was gambling issues, there was substance issues, there was alcohol issues, there was, I think, you know, validation, sex. Then it was like, I think that he was addicted to swimming in the past. And it's like, then he lost that addiction because it transferred into other things when he like stopped swimming. Yeah. I think it's like you're constantly seeking, and I am not a professional.
It's just like an addictive personality.
You are constantly seeking something, and
it should be therapy.
Correct. I tried that for years, and that was anything that I suggested was like, I'm doing the opposite. You suggest it, I'm not doing it.
What a toddler.
Yeah. But again, I'm
okay.
free. So yes. I'm happy.
Yeah.
So I'm speaking from a place of freedom.
All right.
Now.
So to get back to, just so we can kind of, because there's a lot to cover here. So he how many times do you know? Because there was a lot of NDAs offered. Like he was offering a lot of.
I can't talk about that, but.
Oh, you can't talk about the terms of the NDA?
No.
Oh, okay.
But.
Well, sorry guys, you don't get to know about that.
I can't talk about that. Like the legality of the NDAs. I'm just not allowed to.
Yeah.
But it was just.
Offered.
Yeah.
There was multiple different offers.
Yeah.
Crazy things.
Yeah.
Things that would never happen.
No.
Yeah. So that was offered.
No, I'm not going to be silenced.
So then I think he finally gave up on knowing that he wasn't going to silence you with an NDA.
Yes.
So then he hit you with a cease and desist.
Yes.
So after our first divorce episode came out, no, it wasn't a divorce episode. It was one of the episodes where I said
was the thing where you were like, I think it was like
your husband's miss.
Oh yes.
And I was going to say your husband's Miss Lady. That was what I was going to say. That Miss Lady over there. But, you know, they filled in the blanks because they feel that I was going to say something else, but I never said it. The trigger is the truth. The truth is the trigger.
Yeah.
So the funny thing about that is, where are my notes? Oh yeah. So the funny thing about cease and desist, when you come and try and do a lawsuit for defamation and libel, et cetera, that only you don't have a ground to stand on if it's true. Like if you're trying to say something, oh, that's defamation, and you come for it. Okay, well, like you don't have any ground to stand on if that's true. The truth is just the truth.
Yeah.
So there's no defamation happening.
And I think it's the intent, like if you're trying to intentionally, you know,
we're just trying to
disparage.
And I'm sorry, you were married up until like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, correct.
And also
July 1st.
So the funny thing about this is, so when, you know, the attorneys reached out to Kayla, they were like, hey, Kayla, you just got a cease and desist for defamation. And you're like, well, Kevin, I've got receipts.
Yeah.
Kayla, would you like to show the people the receipts?
Do you want the video?
Just a little quickie for you.
Okay.
Just to keep us honest and so we don't get any more cease and desists over here.
It's not lying about everything. Fuck you lying, Kayla. I'm not. Look, Kayla, I'm not buying you, okay?
All right, are you also getting it? So let's take a second for you to come clean. Are you going to finally come clean that you were texting, DMing Molly 5 years ago that you were going to have to pick you up from the airport while your wife was out of town?
Did I say, hey, can you come pick me up from the airport? I did say that.
Yeah.
I DM'd it. I DM'd it.
Yeah.
There you go.
So, because I think that there was this whole like crusade that they went on where they were trying to be like, we're so innocent, and that trying to paint you as like the bully here. And as your friend, it's been really irritating to watch this woman try and claim like she's the victim in all of this when she's not.
Right.
And Ryan is not the victim. He's acting like, oh, everyone's been so horrible to them and da-da-da. Sorry that like,
It's usually the person that's playing the victim is the one doing the harm.
yeah, I think like just the whole, and she posts a lot of things and she reshares a lot of things to her Instagram. Yeah, I looked. What
Yeah, I do not. Like, I don't have a fake account. I don't have.
I do.
I know. My friends and
there's a whole
followers
yeah.
fill me in. Okay, wait, hold on. This is not going to work. You got to shut that down because they're going to group chat. And I literally turned everything on.
Okay.
My friends and followers love to send me every update possible, and I just don't look. I don't
have
care.
people sending me stuff now. I have like, because I obviously do the podcast with you, so people love to send me stuff.
Yeah,
and so then I look, but I just think it's funny how somebody who is literally living with someone else's husband has the audacity, to post the things that she posts, like about how Jesus sees it all, and Jesus will like basically like settle the tab. And it's just like insane to me. It's like, you are living with someone else's husband.
Yeah.
And sure, he's about to be your husband. Like, girl, like, yeah, good for you. But I just think it's like the audacity and disrespect to speak about you the way in which she speaks about you and post about you and the way she posts about you. And then to claim like she's been the one that's being bullied when who's bullying you?
Yeah.
There was one thing that you posted, and then she posted about it, about you posting it. So do you remember the post you did it? And I made you take it down because it's funny because I knew the post wasn't about her because I knew what you were going through privately and how it was about someone else.
Right.
But the funny thing is that she just thought it was about her. And then she takes to social media and claims like, and she makes it seem so innocent. She's like, I know Kayla's beautiful and I know she's a model. I'm not a model. I never claimed to be. She's like acting like she's so nice.
Right.
Which is just such a front for like, I see through all of her.
Yeah, there's a lot of manipulation happening on their end.
But the post that you put out was like, it was like humble enough to know I'm replaceable, cocky enough to know it's a downgrade. And it's so funny that she thinks that that's about her because I know who it was actually about.
Yeah, no.
And so again, truth is trigger.
It was about, it was literally about somebody else, me and Caroline doing a deep dive on somebody else. And literally like,
it wasn't about her.
I can't go into detail, but
listen, I know who it's about, and all you need to know is that it was not about her.
It was literally about a different guy and a different girl. But
I made you take it down because I was like, you idiot. Because nobody knows about this thing that you're going through behind the scenes.
I know.
So I was like, it looks like it's about her. So I made you take it down.
Yes.
Because I was like, that is a bad look because it makes it look like it's about her.
But it wasn't. It literally wasn't.
Who it was about.
So funny.
But also I was like, hey, Betty, put your petty away. Like, whatever. So it's just funny that the way that she runs her mouth and the things she reshares is just so disrespectful to women. The way she kind of interacts with your kids and posts about your kids, and the way she's so showboaty with her relationship while you are literally still married to this man, getting engaged while he's still married to you, I think is just so disrespectful. But the one that really pisses me off the most is the one where we had a work trip to Miami.
Oh, yes.
And do you want to elaborate on what happened that day with Georgia being sick?
Yes. Georgia wasn't feeling well.
She had like scarlet fever.
She had a rash all over her body. And I said that, Georgia's not feeling well. I really need her to go to the doctor. I called after hours because they didn't open until 8 a.m. So I had to call the after hours. And the only appointment they had was on the other side of town at 9 a.m. And Caroline and I were supposed to be in Miami by a certain time, working. And I said,
And
hey,
it's Ryan's day.
It was like our transfer day or switch day, whatever. And I was like, hey, I really want her seen by a doctor. Like, please take her to the doctor. I got her an appointment at 9 a.m. Are you willing to do that? And I said that Caroline can take the big kids to school because I live literally less than 5 miles away from the kids' school. So I was like, okay, Caroline, we'll drop the kids off at school while I go run and take Georgia to the doctor. And he was like, no, that I don't allow that. If, Molly's not allowed to take the kids to school, Caroline can't take the kids to school. And I was like, this is your priority. Like, our daughter has a fever and is like has full of a rash and she doesn't feel well. Like, I just want to get to the doctor ASAP. And I was like, never mind. I will be late. I will drop the kids off. I will take her to the doctor and then I will head out of town after. And she, had thrown up and I wasn't going to.
She was throwing up everywhere.
She was throwing up and I wasn't going to.
So sick.
I wasn't going to not take her. I was like,
right.
I'm going to do this now. That, obviously that's my priority. So I took her into the doctor and I said, hey, this is what she has. Please. I met him at Walgreens. I was like, please meet me at Walgreens. The prescription is ready. She needs to be given this medicine as soon as possible. And I laid out the details, please get a probiotic because she's going to be on antibiotics. And he was like, don't tell me what to do, yada, yada, yada. Everything is
you're
just
damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. Like, the thing
Yeah.
that drove me nuts about watching and reading all of these things. So it's not like Kayla's fabricating anything. And I'm reading his messages myself.
Yeah.
And they're all in the Family Wizard app. We're seeing
it's so nice to have another person that has seen it. So it's not just coming.
You're not fabricating these things, but it's the kids get sick. Kids get sick all the time. They're in school, they're walking petri dish. They're exposed to all the other kids' germs at schools and their immune systems aren't fully developed yet. But every time the kids would be sick, he would be like, he would say to you, this is because they don't go outside at your house, or, this is because you do whatever. Meanwhile,
everything is my fault.
Everything was always your fault. It was just you were damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. So it's if you postponed our trip, we literally had to cancel part of our thing in Miami because you ended up you took her to the doctor because you're her mom and you're like, I'm gonna do this. And I was like, I
don't want to leave town knowing that
right. And that's the right thing to do.
As long as I know that she has medicine and she's going to get better, she's going to be okay. I said, let me know, keep me updated. Strep is serious. It's serious to me.
So we were like, fuck that meeting. It's not as important as you being here with Georgia.
Yeah.
And so then, it's if you tell him what to do, he's like, don't tell me what to do. And if you didn't tell him what to do, like, wow, what a deadbeat mom. And it's just everything you did, he found a way to attack it. There was no winning with it. And then, so we end up missing one of our meetings and getting stuck in crazy traffic. And we're just like, whatever, it is what it is.
Yep.
That's life. Who cares? That's not what's actually important in life.
No.
So what did, because you had posted something. You posted whatever he said to you, because he said something horrible to you. And
later in the day, okay. So what happens is we meet at Walgreens. Of course, mind you, Ryan can never come to the pickup alone. She always has to come.
I wonder why she doesn't let him out of her sight.
I don't know. I think I have an inkling in my mind. But she has to come. She has to get out of the car. She has to oh my God, oh my baby. I've had to deal with this for the last
so
year.
Disrespectful to do to someone.
Never
that is
ever.
You're like, that is my baby. How dare
dating? Okay, but wait. Dating, I've dated somebody that had a ex-wife and children, and I had the utmost respect and boundaries. I would never. And if somebody was speaking to somebody in a way, if somebody wasn't paying child support, if somebody was being disrespectful, if somebody's kid was sick, if I was doing a pickup or exchange, I would never, ever put myself in that position. I would be like, you need to go handle this. You need to, I want to be empathetic towards both people and the children in a situation. I just felt like it was out of a line. There were no boundaries. There was no respect. And I just had to bite my tongue and let someone be all over my child.
It's just it's weird.
It was always put in my face.
Can I, to play devil's advocate here?
Yeah.
I'm not, he likes, let me sit here and shit on everyone and just for the sake of shitting on people.
Yeah.
I will say this. What a beautiful thing that she loves your kids. Because I've had friends, there's, people.
It benefits her too.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? The alternative is like you have the evil stepmother who like shuns your kids and like wants nothing to do with them and is like mean to them. So I will call
But they aren't together long enough to really gauge what the intention is behind there. Like, I hope so. I genuinely hope so.
but like what I'm saying is when your kids are there, they know and experience love.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like they're not
having
being
a good time.
they're not being neglected. They're not being pushed away. Like I will give credit where it's due. Right.
Yeah.
Like, but I do think woman to woman, that is so disrespectful. It's just like, hey, listen, go all and like smother the kids in love and affection in 5 minutes. To do it in the mother's driveway while she's standing there
in
is
my face,
so inappropriate.
all the things. Yeah.
It's so inappropriate.
Yep.
But so yeah, so you posted something. What did Ryan? Do you remember what Ryan said in the thing?
So, well, also saying something how I left my daughter with like no clothes and stuff like that, and it was like,
wait, no, we'll get to that part
Okay,
because that's what she said. He
Oh.
posted something, and you're like, this isn't a daily occurrence because he had said something like
he was always like, degrading me in the messages or just putting me down, any way to put me down. But he said something about me. Oh, because he said something about me being a terrible mom because I said, wait,
Right.
because I was trying to FaceTime the kids and they weren't answering. He said, we're at Disney Springs. And I said, wait, you're at Disney with a kid with strep throat?
Like, was literally like throwing up all over herself.
Literally. And then you drove to Disney Springs just to be like, look how fun we are. Look what we're doing. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And I was like, that is so sad. Like my heart broke for her because I'm like, poor Georgia imagine having strep throat, which I've had strep throat a ton of times. It's the worst. And I'm like, here you are dragging this
sick child. And like, she's having fun because she's 2 and it's Disney World.
Yeah, but like also strep is serious.
But like she looked very ill in all of the videos. Like she like and also you're exposing her while her immune system is down to other germs.
Right.
Like it could have been horrible.
It's just so then postpone the trip.
He doesn't postpone the trip. No. And you were like, what do you mean you took the kids to Disney Springs? Yes. And then he said something like, please, like called you a bad mother. And it's like, Molly
said, if we would have thought this was he said something like, if we would have thought this was a bad idea, we wouldn't have come. Molly's a 10 times better mother than you are or will ever be or something along those lines. And I was just like, okay, yeah. Cool.
And so that is, but like he always has these kind of jabs at you where it's like, yeah, she's a better mother. She's better. She loves me more and all these things. It's like, he forgets all the things you did for him.
Every message he sends me in the app has to do like
us, me, Molly, we.
But that's the thing, you guys, that is, it's just so showing and it shows so much of like, you don't have to try this hard.
Right. But the thing that really, really chaps my ass, the thing that really, really bothers me and chaps my ass is that, yes, she put that up on her thing because that was between her and her, husband. He was still her husband at that point, and they were trying to parent these kids and co-parent, and that's a very valid thing to be.
I would never get involved. Also, especially publicly.
Seriously. So, but little miss, I bought my blue check mark before we were even a public relationship.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It just shows that like mind your own, like, right?
Yeah.
So she goes, my response, every text and every DM and every magazine, I'm sorry, I don't follow Ryan's ex on Instagram. She was blocked. That's why.
I blocked her.
That was why.
She followed me on every social platform, and I have screenshots of multiple messages. She messaged me on every platform. I have text messages of her asking to come to happy hour with her. I have text messages of her asking for real estate help. Let me just asking me for real estate help with helping getting her business, which didn't pan out. Like it's crazy. Sitting with me at the pool with our children all together, hanging out, dating my husband.
So
asking me,
she was sitting. Hold on, because the way you worded that, I just want to clarify. She was dating your husband while she's sitting next to you.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. She is going out with my husband. I believe at one point he already bought her the necklace that he bought me. She is sitting there from me asking me how I make money on social media. Yes. Me, Diana, Kim, Daria, sitting at this table at the pool our kids are playing. Yes. And she says, so how do you make money on social media?
That's the
So I'm like the forecasting of all this. It was like, this was a thing in her mind.
Wasn't there also a part where like you were like talking about your relationship?
Yeah.
And you were kind of venting to the girls about like what was going on in your marriage.
Yes.
And so like,
there were a lot of different things. I've done that. I was talking to her. I had a little intuition. There was an intuition that something was happening because Ryan, mind you, Ryan never liked to go anywhere or do anything. We are both like very homebody-ish. And he was like, oh, I think I'm going to go here and take the kids here. And I was like, really? Like, oh, good. I'm so proud of you. And this is like after we kind of like had separated. And then I saw on her story that she was there and I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. But this was also after the fact that he sent me the screenshot of her.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, why are you sending me the screenshot of her?
Yeah. So he, just for backstory context, he randomly in a text message to Kayla screenshotted her
Instagram. Like a picture of her on Instagram. And again, I don't want this whole conversation be about her because this is like, she'll probably like, you know, flick her to this conversation.
Let's get back to this. But the point is that like, it's just the audacity of the lines crossed is just, it's just not girl behavior. And it's just so inappropriate.
Yeah.
Anyway, so she goes, I'm sorry, I don't follow Ryan's ex on Insta. I really try and stay focused on our kids when we have them. But you, Kayla Ray Reed, Locktier, whatever name you choose these days, dropped your 2-year-old. Okay. Also, whatever name you choose, she is his wife and has his last name. She is the wife, like, and her Instagram handle is her, like, what it's been the entire time.
Yeah.
And like, sorry, you, like, what's the confusion on the name? She's his wife. Okay, moving on. Dropped your 2-year-old off with us, covered in throw up, no pants, and rushed off as fast as you could to go to your girls' weekend in Miami. You're a child, and I'm exhausted of your false narrative.
Right.
Your followers love it and crave it. Your lies are for them. There's no lies. Keep it up, girl. They're putty in your hands. Meanwhile, I'll love on your kids and mine until my last breath.
Okay.
The irony of this is that I see this happen a lot of times with parents and like, especially moms. Like there's this huge like thing of mom guilt that and like mom shame that's put on these moms to make them feel guilty. But like, I'm sorry, this was Ryan's day. This is his day with his children.
Yes.
You postponed and canceled part of, and it's like she assumes it's a girls' weekend in Miami. It was a work trip.
Yes.
So you know what they say about when you assume.
Yeah.
But you assumed it was that, but it was a work trip. And then on top of all of it, you canceled your thing. And then trying to act like you're this horrible mother for dropping her off with no pants on. 1, Georgia's never wearing clothes. 2, she threw up all of her fucking clothes.
No, she came in a shirt and a diaper. And I took her pants off because they had throw up on them. And I thought, this is what I did. I thought to myself, he's going to say something if I drop her off with throw up on her clothes. And he's going to say something if I drop her off without pants. I'm going to get something on both ends.
Win.
I can't win. But I want her more comfortable. And okay. Imagine you have strep throat, you have a fever, you have chills. I'm not going to go change her so that her dad doesn't yell at me. I'd rather take it so he can yell at me about it because I want her more comfortable. That's it.
That's normal.
And of course, I heard about it.
The irony of all of this is that she had the audacity to post this to make it seem like you're a bad mom. All while she's taking your kid to Disney Springs.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Like, make that
it's
make
just like,
sense.
Don't look over here. Don't look over here. That's all.
But like, she just loves to shit on you. And it's like,
again, it speaks to the character.
Yeah, I just think that that's so psychotic and so disrespectful. Like, hey, by the way, Malls, it wasn't a girls' weekend. It was a work trip. So love that. I'm just like, there's a lot of things that have happened over the last few months that Kayla hasn't, you've been, I'm proud of you. You've been too classy to bring up, but now I am not. So here we are.
I just, like I said, I don't want, this person has wanted to be with somebody with status, with a name. I'll leave it at that. And I don't want to be associated. It's embarrassing.
She can have him. Like, that's like, it's
yeah, absolutely. Like, please. I just leave me out of it. Like, please, like, pretend like I don't exist. Stop watching my stuff. Just like go live your happily ever life, like happily ever after.
I think life is a lot easier now that they've moved.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's moved. So that's nice. How do you feel about that?
Incredible, but also sad for my kids. I mean, if I'm being honest, I feel bad for my children because I don't want them to have this
void.
Yeah, this feeling in their mind that they weren't worthy. You know, like I worry about like, will they feel worthy?
How does it feel to have had him turn down a job at the University of Florida, which is down the street, turn down a job at University of Florida, and then take a job for $30,000 a year in Missouri to be near Molly's family?
I mean, it doesn't surprise me, you know? My expectations are very low for him. Yes, he was offered, Anthony Nesty offered him, like wanted him to come coach with him. I think it was an assistant position. I think it was like, they offered him like 80,000 and he had—
Are you serious?
Something along those lines. Don't quote me on the specifics, but it was something right around there because he wanted like 6 figures. And he basically was like, I will never take that job because it doesn't pay enough. And here I was like, just do anything. Like, get out of the house, get out of whatever funk you're in. Just go have some purpose and have something that you're putting yourself into. And
a reason to kind of get up every day. I think, like,
for sure. I think he lost that. Like, wasn't working out, wasn't doing anything, drinking, sleeping.
That's a huge thing with athletes. And so, like, again, we all know how I feel about this man, but I will give him, I'll throw him a bone where I'm fair.
Yeah.
And you know what?
Same.
Everything that I am upset about is fair because it's fair.
Yeah.
And it's the truth. But I will say this. I know how challenging it is for athletes when they stop doing, what they love to do. And because their whole entire life and identity is this sport, right? And so everything since they were a child, the only thing they've ever known is the sport.
Right.
So I can hold space for him feeling lost after, one, he has this, scandal happen in Rio. And, that really put kind of a stain on
so many things.
Right.
Honestly.
But like there's the stain that happens on his name in Rio. Yeah. And then he goes to try and make the next round of Olympics. And like, I think from being one of the Olympic greatest,
suspended due to the IV thing. And then he had the thing where he like broke down the hotel door and then he crashed a car and then crashed another car.
But I mean, like in the sense of from his career standpoint, like you have the scandal happen in Rio and that is, a lot when everybody is talking about you and
yeah,
I mean, you made your bed, you have to sleep in it.
Absolutely.
But also, then trying to qualify for the Olympics. And I'm sorry, he's one of the greatest. If he wasn't in Michael Phelps's shadow his whole career, he would have been the greatest swimmer of all time.
Absolutely.
And I think, one, it's hard to be in Michael Phelps's shadow.
Mm-hmm.
And two, I think it's hard to want to kind of have your own comeback, be in your comeback era, if you will, trying to come back for the next round of the Olympics, and then to be one of the greatest of all time and to not even qualify. Like, I'm sure, like, I can hold space for the fact
he
that
qualified for trials,
but he didn't make it.
But he didn't make it to the Olympics.
Why?
What do you mean?
Why didn't he make it to the Olympics?
You have to get a time. You have to get a specific.
That's what I'm saying. He didn't qualify for it. He didn't make it to the Olympics.
Yeah.
And so I can hold space
and
for that.
I think that, because of COVID too, the Olympics got delayed a year.
Mm-hmm.
And he was really ready for 2020. And I think that we all thought that he was genuinely gonna make it in 2020. And then when it got postponed a year, I think that's when he kind of like hit another brick, you know what I mean? Or hit another wall. It was just like, thing after thing after thing.
Yeah.
And I felt empathy for that, right?
Yeah,
I was very sympathetic.
Of
like,
course.
okay, how can I help? What can I do? And it was just, I just would get blamed, something. It was just, I don't know.
But I think from, again, like, I love psychology.
Yeah.
And like from, being on the outside of all of this and what you've told me, and granted, I'm only getting a part of it from you, but what it looks a lot like, is that he had to blame you because then he has to sit with the fact that he did this to himself.
Yeah.
He made his bed. He has to sleep in it. He was responsible for Rio. He was responsible for not qualifying and making, what was the next one after Rio?
After Rio, well, there's like nationals.
No, like what's the next Olympics?
Olympics, it was Olympics Tokyo.
Yeah, so he doesn't make Tokyo.
Yeah.
And so like, I think, you're sitting with like your whole life, if everything you've worked towards, it's actually over.
Yeah, because, Olympians, they live solely basically off endorsements. So if you don't make it to the Olympics, this is where all the advertising endorsements and all this stuff comes from.
Yeah.
And there is, pressure with these sponsors and the people that but that is the job, there is the pressure. So that's why you really have to prepare yourself on the mental side of things. And so I encourage, I got him a therapist and stuff like that to talk through those things so you can get through the pressure. But I think his way of relieving pressure was drinking and stuff like that. This is why I stayed. Because I had a lot of empathy and sympathy.
And then I can also appreciate there's a piece of it where he went from having all of this money and like when you are doing well like that, you kind of just assume the money is always going to be happening. Yeah. And I think that that's part of what contributed to his pretty frivolous spending, which led you guys to some extreme financial hardships
that I was unaware of.
That you were unaware of.
Yeah.
And, I feel like, do you want to talk about this chapter of what thing? Because he loves to call you a gold digger, but it's funny because like what gold?
Right.
What gold? Sir?
I think it's just a term that someone can throw around. I mean, I don't know. Like I've gone into that before. I don't know. I'm not a gold digger. I mean, sometimes I'm like, gosh, like it would be so much easier to be.
I know. Right? Totally.
Like
the bills would be paid.
If I had no morals,
HOA wouldn't be knocking down your door.
Literally, life would be a lot easier. But
so, do you want to talk about some of the financial struggles that you guys have been in recently?
Oh God, like what? I mean,
for starters, like he wasn't paying the HOA, and they put a foreclosure lien in your house, or at least the headlines said.
The HOA, well, that's a whole other debacle. The HOA was on auto pay. They changed companies. They were sending the bill to our apartment that we hadn't lived in, like 2 previous places.
You guys know where we live.
Yeah, like literally there's like 15 houses in our homes. Like, yeah. And the president was not my next door neighbor, but my neighbor. And it was like, no one said, hey, your bills has gone. Right. And it's a very little amount of money. So it's like someone could have just knocked on the door. It's a small town. And just say, hey, we haven't noticed your bill. I would have immediately put it back on auto pay.
Well, there's that. Then there's also he wasn't paying taxes.
Wasn't paying the taxes.
So what did that get up to?
Oh, God. I don't know. Like $100 and something thousand, 180.
Yeah.
Then there was the medical loan or the medical lien from the car accident because I found out shortly after the bad car accident with, when he broke his femur and all that stuff, that he didn't pay the car insurance. So the car insurance had lapsed because supposedly there was some fraud on his account. So that had happened.
But that led to what happening to you.
What part? This is there's so much.
He let this lapse and then your license got suspended.
Yes. He didn't pay the car insurance. So I found out that, we were not insured. And again, I haven't had a freaking ticket since high school.
Yeah.
So I have a very clean record. But when you're married, everything is joint, unfortunately. So he canceled my car insurance. So my car insurance and my license, everything was suspended. And because of the accident, there was like tons of claims, and the multiple car accidents, there were all these claims on the account. And I was like, but I haven't done any of this. Like, so when I tried to go insure myself, so I was like, fuck it, I'll just go insure myself. I'll fix it. They were like, no, you're basically uninsurable because you've had all these, dings on your record, basically. and your license is suspended. And I was like, what do you mean my license is suspended?
Yeah.
So I found out that way, which reminds me I need to now go get new insurance, and hopefully I can.
Yeah, you've been through a lot. There's been a lot of financial struggles. So like,
Yes.
those are some big ones. The taxes, and it's again, his tax debt attached to your name because you're married.
Yeah.
And, you know,
And the medical stuff.
the
And
medical
so when I would send
you're
him,
married.
if I had to take, again, when I took Georgia to the doctor for strep throat, we didn't have insurance because he canceled the health insurance.
Okay, so this is something that I would love to dive
So I
into.
had to pay out of pocket.
Hold on.
And I sent it and he said no.
So having been close to Kayla and getting to see her kids, like I think like, you know, as an outsider getting to, you know, spend time with her and her kids, like I really realized that, you know, the kids were having a hard time with the divorce. And I said to Kayla, because I love therapy, I've been in it consistently for years. It's just one of the best things I've ever done. So if you are somebody who is struggling, like there's no shame in the therapy game. Like it gives me the most amazing tools to like have in my pocket when something's going on in my life. And I'm like, oh, I know how to like handle
For
this, 'cause
sure.
I know how to regulate my emotions down because of tools I've learned in therapy.
Yeah.
So, and I think just with a crazy life change like this, like that your kids are going through, I was like, I really think, you know, therapy would be really good for them to give them a place to talk and to do all these things.
Right.
So Kayla goes to take the kids to therapy because, you know, they're having a hard time with, you know, everything. The divorce, dad's got a new girlfriend, what's going on?
Well, she was another thing that I wouldn't do is she was coming to the supervised visits. And mind you, that was way back when.
That was last summer.
Yeah. And so my kids didn't even really know what was going on. I still had family photos on my shelves because I was like, I just need to like figure out how I'm going to really explain this to kids. You know, their dad isn't around, their dad's in a new house, they're very confused. And I wanted to be extremely cautious and considerate over our children's feelings and emotional well-being as he's bringing a new woman and kissing her at these supervised visits in front of our children. So much so that our nannies are super, again, I didn't ever have like a full-time nanny. She was more of like our babysitter.
She's a supervisor.
We agreed that she could be the supervised visit coordinator or whatever. She was the supervisor.
Because the kids weren't allowed to drive with him.
The kids weren't allowed to be in the car with him or be anywhere unsupervised.
Right.
So she was the supervisor.
Right.
And she was just like, what the heck? Like this is insane. It's very, very inappropriate.
Don't even get me started about the FaceTimes.
Yeah, FaceTimes. But Kaden, that was one of the very first supervised visits. Kaden came home and put his head under the pillow, and Jessie was there. Jessie was actually going to be one of my witnesses for trial because she witnessed a lot of stuff being the supervisor. And Kaden came home and put himself under the pillow on the couch and started crying. And it was because he saw them kissing.
Thank you guys so much for listening to this episode. We have heard your requests, and obviously this conversation was not only raw, but deeper and longer than we had anticipated. So we did decide to split it into multiple parts. This is part 2 of our divorce conversation, and there is still much more to share. So stay tuned for part 3. And also, thank you so much for being here, for supporting this journey, and for continuing to show up for our honest conversations. If you did enjoy this episode, do not forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need to hear it. We will see you in part 3.